Welcome to the role of AmeriCorps regional offices in the VISTA network. This module is part of the orientation learning path for new VISTA sponsor staff. It was recorded in 2020. Here are our goals for today's presentation. We'll reinforce several important VISTA sponsor responsibilities detailed in the sponsor handbook. We'll look at the roles AmeriCorps regional staff play in project implementation, and then we'll note useful contacts and resources to support your VISTA project work. I want to begin by emphasizing the unique and invaluable role AmeriCorps regional offices play in VISTA project implementation. Because of the scale and the duration of the work you'll do together, your relationship with your regional office will be one of the most important contributing factors to your VISTA project success. As you are the experts on your community needs and organizational resources, regional offices are the experts on AmeriCorps requirements and resources to support your work. Let's look at some of the specific ways you will work with your regional office. On the screen, you'll see a very simple graphic that shows the life cycle of a VISTA project for training purposes. We first reviewed this in the role of AmeriCorps headquarters in the VISTA network and noted that the steps shown here include a combination of sponsor tasks and those managed by AmeriCorps. As a reminder, this graphic does not contain all requirements for VISTA sponsors. You can certainly find details on everything about administering your project in VISTA's governing documents and in our legal agreements. In this version of the graphic, you can see that nearly every step of the project lifecycle involves AmeriCorps regional staff. They are indicated here in light blue, and each box has a black outline around it. From project application approval to member placement, orientation, management, and to project closeout, regional staff are your equal partners in providing meaningful service in your community. Next, let's take a look at some of our shared responsibilities and how you and your regional office will work together. Here are the core responsibilities for VISTA project implementation and sponsor tasks that we'll discuss today. These categories are the same ones presented in other modules of the VISTA sponsor orientation. As a reminder, you can access a one-page handout in Litmos that shows these responsibilities and sponsor tasks, along with the roles of AmeriCorps regional offices that I'll review with you in this presentation. To access that one-page handout, go to the course landing page in Litmos and select Additional References. You'll find that Additional References tab at the top of the page and just under the course description in Litmos. So let's start with overall VISTA project development. AmeriCorps regional staff oversee every facet of project development, as I said, from approving project applications and member assignments to monitoring progress and closing out projects. Regional staff also determine the project and member targets for their location and provide instructions and technical assistance to community organizations that apply for VISTA resources. As with all partners in the VISTA network, AmeriCorps regional staff share the responsibility to follow the federal laws, regulations, and guidance that govern VISTA activities. In order for sponsors to fully understand and comply with VISTA's legal framework, regional staff take an active role in this process. Their tasks include signing the Memorandum of Agreement, which is the legal agreement between AmeriCorps and your organization. Regional staff also review and approve all project materials, including the initial concept paper and project application, as well as VISTA assignment descriptions, service opportunity listings, and your required reports and forms. And finally, regional staff work closely with AmeriCorps headquarters in the event corrective action is needed for VISTA project staff or for VISTA members. Next, let's talk about communications. Since regional staff are the frontline managers for AmeriCorps, communications with them are vital to your VISTA project work. This includes regular communications between you and your AmeriCorps portfolio manager, as well as your external marketing and messaging about the VISTA program and your specific project. In terms of ongoing partner communications, sponsors and regional staff must have a schedule of regular check-ins to supplement the required project reporting schedule. I also want to encourage you to add your AmeriCorps portfolio manager to any distribution list that you may have to promote your project and share good news about your community. And as appropriate, invite regional staff to attend events, to log on to trainings, and review new content on your website on a regular basis. These are great ways to really expand their understanding of your project's design and successes. And this type of ongoing engagement is extremely helpful when you need to notify regional staff about any emergencies or unexpected changes to your project. We really encourage and need sponsors to notify AmeriCorps about proposed changes to your goals and member assignments, as well as significant shifts in your staff, the VISTA supervision structure, or other elements of your organizational status. In addition, be sure to notify your regional staff in case of major member problems, like if someone has a serious injury or is hospitalized, if there's an arrest or conviction of a crime, if a member is missing from their project site from their work for an extended period of time, or if there's some type of poor performance in the member's service. Regional staff are there to work with you to document and manage those types of issues, and then they'll also engage AmeriCorps headquarters as necessary. In terms of external communications about VISTA and your project, AmeriCorps regional offices also provide resources from headquarters to support your local branding, marketing, and recruitment. And regional staff are great champions for your VISTA projects and members. They constantly collect and share your stories, your successes, and your lessons learned across AmeriCorps so that we can all promote your project and learn from your experiences. Next, let's take a look at your VISTA reporting requirements. AmeriCorps regional offices work with you to document VISTA activities and ensure appropriate use of federal resources. Specifically, regional staff provide instructions and timelines for completing reporting tasks. And they review, clarify, and approve your reports and forms, including financial reports where applicable. Sponsors who receive VISTA program and support grants are required to submit federal financial reports. Similarly, some VISTA sponsors enter into cost share agreements with VISTA. If your organization is one of those, you'll receive regular invoices to cover the agreed upon costs. Be sure to verify the type of VISTA award your organization receives to confirm your responsibility for either the federal financial reporting or the cost share agreement reporting. Now let's turn to some of the main responsibilities you and AmeriCorps regional offices share under VISTA member management. Again, for the purposes of this orientation, the chart you're looking at contains just a few high-level tasks that are required to manage VISTA members. And as with all other core responsibilities, AmeriCorps regional offices are heavily involved in each step here. I want to draw your attention to several important terms to remember when describing people who serve in VISTA. First, when individuals submit their applications in the MyAmeriCorps portal, they're called applicants. Then they become candidates for VISTA service when their applications are accepted and while they await their background check results and complete other onboarding requirements. And then finally, candidates become enrolled as AmeriCorps VISTA members or VISTAs when they complete the VISTA member orientation provided by VISTA headquarters and then take the federal oath of service. AmeriCorps regional staff review all applications and criminal history reports and approve applications you recommend for service in your project. Regional staff also work with VISTA headquarters to place members officially in service in the MyAmeriCorps portal. And as I mentioned earlier, regional staff must approve your VISTA assignment descriptions, your service opportunity listings, and your on-site orientation and training plans before your first VISTA member can be assigned to your project. Regional offices also provide ongoing coaching and technical assistance to support member supervision throughout the project year, and they engage AmeriCorps headquarters as necessary. Also, please note that only AmeriCorps regional staff have the authority to terminate a placement and remove a VISTA member from service. That's a really critical task that they have. Finally, regional staff must complete the AmeriCorps portion of the Future Plans forms for all VISTA members so that headquarters can exit them from service in the portal. And VISTAs and supervisors also complete their respective portions of those forms, of those Future Plans forms, before they are submitted to the regional office. So I know we just covered a lot of information, and here are some really important takeaways from this orientation module. Your relationship with your regional office is critical to your project's success in these ways. Regional offices provide all deadlines and instructions for submitting reports and forms. They approve all project applications and member activities, including VISTA assignment descriptions. They enroll VISTA candidates in service. Regional staff approve member applications and placements to do that. And regional staff work closely with you on any project or member performance issues. And again, they alone have the authority to terminate member placements if that is required. You can find details about your responsibilities as a sponsor and the role of the AmeriCorps regional offices in the VISTA Sponsor Handbook posted on the VISTA campus. And again, as a reminder, there's a PDF handout that summarizes these roles included in this Litmos learning path. You can access that by going to the course landing page and then selecting additional references at the top of that landing page. You'll see that link to additional references just under the course description. When you select additional references, the PDF versions, the handouts, and the PowerPoints from this module will appear for you to download. So from all of those major shared responsibilities, let's turn now to the contacts and resources you have to help you successfully manage your VISTA project. As a new staff member at a VISTA sponsoring organization, you have several key contacts to help fully prepare you for your VISTA project responsibilities, including your own organization and project staff, your AmeriCorps regional staff, of course, and your VISTA sponsor colleagues and peers. And you can also find additional resources to support you in your project at nationalservice.gov and on the VISTA campus. Note that the campus has a supervisor forum where you can also connect with other sponsors around the country. Here are the main topics we covered in this module. We reinforced some of the VISTA sponsor responsibilities detailed in the VISTA Sponsor Handbook. We reviewed the critical roles of AmeriCorps regional staff, the critical role they play in VISTA project implementation, and we identified contacts and resources managed by AmeriCorps to support your work. Thank you for completing the role of AmeriCorps regional offices in the VISTA network. And thank you for your ongoing partnership with AmeriCorps VISTA. Have a good day.